everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with George, and if you haven't watched my previous video, I shall link that below, but he is our little boy. My previous video I talked about my labour and delivery, and this video is George and I's 1 month update. So George is 5 weeks now. We're a little bit late, but I thought I would just talk you through what's happened in his first month. So George was born on the 29th of January 2016. He was born at 9:30 in the morning, and he weighed £7 and 12 ounces, which I was shocked about, wasn't I, George? Because everyone kind of thought he was going to be big. I've been measuring big on kind of my growth chart, so everybody thought you were going to be big. I was expecting, 8, nearly 9 pounds, but no, you were under 8 pounds. No tears. And yeah, as discussed in my previous video, I had a really easy labour, and then after that we kind of got moved up to post-labour ward. We were only in hospital for basically that night, so the Friday night, and I was let home late Saturday afternoon, so we were really only in hospital a day with him. They just checked that feeding alright, and he was alright. We had his newborn checkup. Everything was fine, and we also had his hearing test, and again all those results came back fine. So I'm breastfeeding George, and in the hospital when I first started breastfeeding, everything was fine. He was latched on really well, everybody was saying he was doing really well, it wasn't painful in any way. Sorry everyone, I just got my fiance to take George out as he was just getting a little bit fuzzy. So as I was saying, everything in hospital was going fine with feeding. I'd watched all the videos and done all the reading and been to classes, and I thought it was going to be fine. We got home and my milk came in, and it was like everything fell apart. His latch completely changed. It was starting to get really, really painful. I was kind of dreading it every time he needed to feed. It was horrific. We got a breastfeeding support person from the community midwives team to come and see me, and so I was in so much pain, and I was starting to become really, really sore. She took one look at me and was like, "Oh my goodness, I don't know how you've carried on this long." They weighed George, and he'd only lost 2% of his body weight, and she said, "I've done really well considering I was in so much pain. You've done really well not to lose any, that much weight." So she tried to sort that out, and we did get it sorted, but unfortunately I got mastitis, which is actually an infection, which was horrific. I do not wish that on my worst enemy. You feel like you have the flu, your chest is really, really hot and sore. They feel like literally like boulders, like burning hot boulders attached to you. That's the only way I can describe it, and it's awful. I've never felt so ill. At one point I was just laying in bed shaking, but then obviously you've got, days old baby still needing you, still wanting to feed, and it was horrific. So you have to carry on, and but I got antibiotics. I got through that. I didn't have to go back into hospital. Some people end up being readmitted into hospital because you can get sepsis from it really easily, and then I would have been really ill, but I was very lucky. I got the antibiotics in time. I would say for anybody who's due to have a baby, or is in the early days of feeding, if you feel any symptoms of mastitis, anything like cold and flu, shivery. I was shivery for days, and I blamed it on kind of shock after giving birth. It wasn't. It's just mastitis kind of gearing up. If you feel shivery, if there's any redness on your chest, or any lumps that you can feel, please speak to a doctor. Get it knocked on the head where you can, because it can turn really, really nasty. So after the mastitis cleared up, everything started to get a whole lot easier. We've been really, really lucky from the start. George is an excellent sleeper at night. We are very, very lucky. He wakes up usually once a night. At his max 2. Even when he's going through growth spurts, it's only 3 times a night. He's just a really good sleeper. He seemed to know straight away when night time was. We enforced a pretty much, not like a bath, food and bed routine, because you can't when they're a newborn. It's a bit difficult, but we enforced a routine of go upstairs into our room, still in our room. We have the nightlight on. We don't have any sounds at all. I don't really speak to him. I just feed him. hold him, feed him, hold him, and then he goes into his Moses basket, and he goes to sleep. And we've been really lucky because he's slept in his Moses basket since day one. We haven't had a night where he's refused to go in it, so touch wood. So we've been really, really lucky. And as I said, he's sleeping really well. During the day, it's a completely different story. He barely sleeps during the day. He feeds a lot, and he can become quite cranky. Basically, I don't know what it is. He's just quite cranky in between feeds during the day. Then at night, he seems to be a bit of a different animal. But I don't know. I think he's like me. He's really good in the early morning, and then towards the afternoon, he starts getting really cranky and overtired, and he's not having any of it. But he's putting on weight really well. So he was 7'12" at birth, it says, and he did lose a little bit. But now, well, at 4 weeks, I didn't manage to get him weighed this week. They were full up in the clinic. But at 4 weeks, he was up at 9 pounds exactly. So he's been put on weight really, really well, especially for breastfed babies, because they say that they can sometimes gain weight slower. But he's putting on weight really, really well. Over the last over week 4 and week 3, he gained 7 and 8 ounces in a week. So yeah, he's doing really, really well. But as I said, he's feeding a lot. Especially, he had a growth spurt at the beginning of 4 weeks, and honestly, I thought it was going to kill me. He was just feeding every half an hour. It was ridiculous. But we're past that now, and his gaps between feeding are getting a lot longer. Sometimes we can do 2 hours now, and you won't need a feed in the day. But my secret weapon for George, getting out. I've been going for a walk every single day with the pram, sometimes 3 nearly 4 miles, just because it will absolutely zonk him out. He goes to sleep in the pram, and then I get back, and I just leave him in his carry cot. I take the blankets off so he's not too hot, but I just leave him in his snowsuit, and he just sleeps. He can sleep sometimes up for extra hour after we've got back. It just allows me to do things like eat. I always go out before lunchtime, so by the time I get back I can have my lunch, put the only washing on that needs to be done, and this my fiance went back to work. My fiance was lucky, he had 3 weeks off basically. He went back to work at the beginning of week 4. That was difficult, because you're suddenly on your own with this baby, and there isn't any backup, and it's just you. But I'm getting more used to that now, and he's getting a lot more alert now. He will sit and look at you, and he kind of will. He's starting to smile, which is really, really nice. So we can kind of have more interactive fun times instead of just feed, sleep, cry, which is what it was like for the first 4 weeks. But I've seen a big change in him this week. He's kind of a real smiley little boy. So yeah, so George is kind of, what does George like to do at the moment? Well, feed, sleep. He likes sitting up. He doesn't really like being laid down. I don't know if he's got a bit of a reflux, because sometimes he's sick quite a lot, and he has quite a lot of hiccups, and he doesn't really like laying down. So I don't know if he has got a bit of reflux and sitting up is better for him, or he likes sitting up because he can look around and see what's going on. He's really started looking around now. He's started to look at people, and look like he can really see them, and he's fascinated by light. He loves light, and his favourite thing is movement. He likes to be rocked, he likes to be walked in the pram, absolutely loves the car. The car just zonks him straight out, or even if it doesn't send him to sleep, he sits there, quiet and looks around. And yeah, that's George. That's George's a 1 month update. As for my update from kind of after giving birth, well, I did have to have stitches after I gave birth, which was not particularly nice, but they healed really, really well. They were dissolvable stitches, so there was no drama. I didn't have to go back and have them taken out. They just kind of disappeared on their own. I'm not in any pain at all anymore. I honestly would say that the pain had probably gone after the first week and a half. I wasn't in pain anymore. The first day after giving birth, I ached all over, just from the sheer amount of muscles that you use, because you're not only pushing internally, but you're tensing up, you're gripping onto things. I could barely open my mouth the next day because I've been biting so hard. I had the little mouthpiece from the gasnet, and I bit down on it so hard that I couldn't open my mouth the next day. I could barely eat. It was ridiculous. I wasn't expecting that. That was funny. But yeah, I wasn't in any pain after about a week and a half. I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost about 2.5 stone. I put on quite a lot of weight, to be honest, during my pregnancy, but I've lost about 2.5 stone. I've probably got another 2 to go. But I'm not dieting. I think it would be impossible to diet and breastfeed, to be honest, because I'm hungry all the time. It's ridiculous, and I'm providing food for him, so I don't really want to do anything that could interrupt that. So I'm kind of eating as normal, probably a few more biscuits than I should have, but oh well. And as I said, I'm getting out every day and walking. After the mastitis went, honestly, my recovery's been fine. Still finding feeding a little bit difficult. I think it's just quite a difficult thing. You know, people say it's the most natural thing in the world, and it is, but that doesn't mean it comes naturally. It doesn't mean that you or the baby knows exactly what to do, and it doesn't mean that you mentally will be able to deal with it straight away. You know, it's very, very challenging being somebody's sole source of food. You know, however much my fiance wants to help, and he's amazing, there are times when there's very little that he can do. We've trained George to take 1 bottle a day of express milk, just so I can have a break, well, just so I can eat my tea, go to the toilet, you know, that kind of luxury when you're a mum. But, you know, he's not fooled. He'll drain the bottle and he'll scream for me, because he wants the comfort, he wants the closeness. That's just very mentally difficult to deal with. I mean, not that I'd want to at this stage, but I can't imagine leaving him with anyone at all. It's definitely not at the minute. I mean, I wouldn't want to right now, but in a few months I'd like to, you know, just for an hour or something, to have that bit of you time back, but I just couldn't imagine leaving him. But everything's getting easier. He's a real joy, he really is. All those times in the middle of the night where he wakes you up are just worth it, because he is such a joy, and he looks at you like, you know, you're the only thing in the world, and that's because that's all we can really see at the moment. And, you know, I'm his food, so he likes me, but yeah, it's so worth it. Really, really blessed. And that's mine and George's 1 month update. Sorry that he got a bit whingy and had to go, but he's just going through a bit of a whingy few days. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I will answer them in an upcoming video. Thank you for watching again. Please like, comment and subscribe.